You ready, Matt? We good? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just strapped in, ready for the next accusation of what I've done this week.
No
I'm
accusation.
just ready to go. Level cap. What have I done this week?
All right, Matt. I've been spying on you. I've been kind of peeping, and you've got some explaining to do. All right. You've been playing more Arc Raiders than you have Battlefield 6. Okay. There's more hours on Arc Raiders on your Steam account than Battlefield 6. Not by much, but you got 63 hours in Arc Raiders, which is a lot, mind you.
Well, to my credit, that was also from the play test that we had a couple of months ago, so that's not really fair.
It is fair. It's true.
Yeah.
And only 57 in Battlefield. Matt, it's been 10 days. Come on. I think you can put more than 57 hours into that.
Disappointment. I look myself in the mirror every day and I'm just shaking my head just how, first of all, bald at this age, seriously, and also, come on, brother.
Is that what you think when you look in the mirror? Like,
every time I look at the mirror, I just shake my head. God damn it.
Yeah, I've been playing as much as I can. I don't have as many hours in Battlefield 6 as you do, but it is fun, man. I've just been playing. The honeymoon is over, though. It's been over a week now.
I don't know. I'd say the honeymoon's still going on. I'm still having lots of fun.
I know. It's funny because it is a game that I've got, a big long list of things that I would like to be changed or better or could be different, but also every time I load up a match, I'm like, this is fun. This is good. I'm liking this. Like, it's solid. We're coming up on our first season of content pretty soon, which is wild to think that we're getting.
It's in like 8 days, I think. Well, it's depending on when this podcast comes out, 5 days.
Yeah. Which is great. I could use some new maps. The maps are kind of the more whelming part of BF6, so some new ones would be cool. Hopefully they're solid. How are you dealing with the ranking stuff in BF6? They've sped it up since the patches to allow, I believe, weapon progression is quicker now, where you can.
Oh yeah. So first off, I gotta say, to see DICE responding to player feedback so quickly has been very nice. I mean, I don't know about you, but I remember the days. I feel like we can, as veterans, I would say we're veterans of the Battlefield community, if you can even make that claim, right? I remember the time when a Battlefield comes out and then we're like, oh boy, we now have to wait 6 months for everything to get fixed. And it's nice to have like a baseline where it's not total garbage. And they're also responding to the criticisms fairly quickly and making good changes. And one of them, like you said, was changing the XP, and you level up your weapons faster. And it's been noticeable. It's like distinctly noticeable for those first 20 levels.
Yes. It's so much better because some of the most important attachments in the game come at the very end of that progression, and it can take a while to get there, or it can take a while just to get your gun into a more competitive state. Some of them start off with teeny tiny little magazines or just garbage attachments, and you really need to throw some more on there. But
yeah, some of the weapons straight up feel bad if you don't have the right attachments, or not their full, even close to their full potential.
Yeah. What's been your go-to gun so far, now that you've really put some time into it?
I mean, I'm bouncing around. SMGs are definitely my favorite, though, just like across the board. Super reliable. Love them to pieces. So I'd say just the SMG class in general.
Their recoil is just so solid. It's
very consistent.
Yeah, you use an SMG and then you use an assault rifle and you're like, what is this thing flying all over the place? Yeah. I haven't gotten the L85 unlocked yet, but I did play it in one of the early play tests for the game, and that was a very accurate assault rifle. So I'm looking forward to that one.
I need to start working on those for sure.
The Scar is a pocket little sniper rifle is what it is.
Okay.
I don't know if you've used that one at all, but
nope.
Yeah, slow rate of fire. So you're like, why would I use this over, something that shoots 900 rounds per minute or something? But you throw an ACOG on that, and then you get into Firestorm or something, you're just dropping dudes from one objective to the other, and you're like, oh, They think they're getting shot by a DMR or sniper, and you're like, nope, just an assault rifle. So
Yep. That's one thing I've noticed is that these weapon stats on a lot of these weapons are a little deceptive because you're like, oh, this weapon does 33 damage. This weapon does 20 damage. Like, why would I ever use the 20 damage weapon or what have you, right? Or they do 25 damage between the two of them, but one of them, their damage drops off like at 100 meters and the other one drops off at 10 meters, right?
Yeah.
So it is a significant difference in terms of their performance at medium to long range. And I don't think people understand that yet. I don't think people have really gotten like a grasp on those stats quite yet.
Yeah, we need the SimThick website to drop all of its Battlefield 6 stats, because
that brings me back.
Yeah, the in-game stats are like better than they've ever been, but very much lacking in terms of actually being able to paint a full picture on what a gun can do.
Right.
And especially now that we're getting into some of the further attachments, I'm like, these descriptions don't even like do any. Like, I have no idea.
Last one. Yeah, it's absurd. Yeah, I like the variety, but it does make it really hard to know what will work for what you're trying to build.
I'm starting to loathe the descriptions of grips in the game, because just quickly swapping between them, you're just like, can we get something where it just says ADS speed plus something, like whatever it does. I mean, it does technically have those stats there, but you're like reading 2 or 3 lines and it looks almost the same as the last one. You're switching back and forth and going like, wait, it seems like it's saying the exact same thing. Oh, wait, no, there's like a couple words that are different. Like, it's just, I'm getting annoyed with it. Yeah.
I agree. I do agree.
Yeah, I do want to, I'm like starting to dive deeper into weapon stats and stuff. And it's fun, but it is deceptive. Like the MP7 has kind of bad stats in the menu, but I really like it as an SMG. Like, it's a fun little SMG that it's like, yeah, it does really low damage per shot, but for whatever reason, I'm just like dropping tons of people with it.
Yeah. It's a good weapon. The M277, I think people were like, wow, why would I ever use this? It has 25 damage up close compared to like the M4. It's like, well, true, but it literally drops off at like 100 meters where you're still doing 25 damage.
Is that the suppressed?
Or suppressed
carbine?
It starts off suppressed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're dropping people in 4 rounds at like pretty far away, and once you kind of get a handle on it, it's fun. It's very good.
Yeah. I'm expecting and sort of noticing some metas to sort of
for sure
pop out there. Suppressor becoming very common. I'm seeing a lot of
the minimap. Yeah.
Yep. Keeps you off the minimap, keeps you from getting 3D spotted when you fire. So if you like playing any of the big game modes, suppressor is like the way to go. Otherwise, you're just going to be spotting yourself every time you take a shot to like, I don't know, 10 people that could be watching you. So that'll keep you alive. The thermal scopes
I haven't touched them because I hate them.
I hate them too, in the sense of they look ugly, and I hate the whole premise of it. However, they are the fix to visibility in this game. This game has really bad visibility, and I've been throwing them on. They don't have any ADS difference between
penalty, right?
Yep. So they balanced them in the previous games by putting a big old black screen around it, so you got no peripheral vision, right? It was like you're looking into a little camera and you had to close your eye, and that's all you could see was the picture. This game, they're like, now we'll just color code your scope and your peripheral vision will be the same. So you have no ADS penalty, you have no peripheral vision penalty. It's an expensive attachment, but other than that, it's incredibly good, and I've been using it on all the bad visibility maps and just being like, oh, okay, like I'm just dropping people all over the place. And I've been seeing those optics popping up on a lot of guns that I pick up. I drop some player and I'm like, what's he using? Oh, the thermals. Thermals on this gun, thermals on that gun. They're going to need to nerf it, I think. Otherwise, everyone's going to be running thermals in like a month.
I was going to say, I don't want that to be the meta.
Yeah.
I don't want my game to be, because like, we have these really pretty games, and if all of a sudden you're just looking through a scope that just makes it black and white, that's ugly. Like, it's not fun. Like, it detracts from the overall experience. I don't want that to be the meta at all.
Yeah.
What they could also do is just improve the visibility, like the blazing light differences between dark and, when you go in and outside of a building, that definitely needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
And that would probably go a long ways. And yeah, so if they can tackle, not only maybe not make those optics quite so good, because you're right.
Yeah. I think they need to kill the peripheral vision on them, to be honest. I think that might be one of the few ways to balance them. Because you could either go crazy with the points, but that's not fun, in my opinion, where they go, you want to run this? Well, now you have to strip your entire weapon down from everything else that you like.
You shouldn't have to strip it entirely. Yeah. But I do think it should have some downsides, because, I mean, you could just say, you could just argue like, well, then just don't use it. And I won't. But I definitely do not want, I want it to be more of a niche item that's fun to use, not something that you feel like you need to be competitive, because it really, for me, just ruins the experience.
I was switching back and forth between using it and not using it, and just feeling a huge difference in the amount of kills that I was getting, like substantial. So, I think they got to do some work there. Unfortunately, as a Battlefield veteran, we've been making these same arguments for every Battlefield game throughout the years, and they just keep repeating the same mistakes over and over. So it gets a little tiring where you're like, here we go with the IRNV situation again. It was.
Can you see through smokes with them?
No, but
okay.
You can see through them just about at the exact rate that you would gain your visibility from just normal optics as well. It's just so stinking useful, because if any sliver of somebody's body is peeking out from behind cover or wherever, you see them. Right. And these would be people that you would normally miss, right? If a little foot was sticking out from behind a rock, you wouldn't see that as you're running past normally. But if you've got an IRNV, you're like, oh, that's a dude's foot there. Like, I spotted it immediately. It makes target acquisition and tracking so much easier. You're not getting distracted by all this extra junk. You've got like a perfect hitbox outline for you. So use it now before it gets nerfed. It's incredibly effective, but it also just kind of makes the game ugly as well. So hopefully they'll dial that back and make better incentives to not use those. I was hoping they would do stuff where, like, what I don't quite get some of their weapon attachment point allocation. For example, you can't get any guns to 0 points, right? Because every attachment costs points, which is weird. You should have some of the base stuff be 0 points, and then, I mean, it's fine. It's like, think that the base, like, iron sights are 5 points. Like that. But like, you can't not have a magazine and a weapon, and a magazine costs 10 points. It's like, why are we? Yeah, but why do you need it to go all the way down to 0? I just think it's weird that it doesn't. It's like, it seems like that's the obvious way to balance it out. And then as you add better stuff, those take points until you get to your point allocation. Anyway, but why it needs to go to 0 is you go, okay, look at an LMG. If I want to put a 200 mag upgrade on an LMG that normally has 100 rounds, it costs 55 points. How low can I get my base points? Like 30. It's taken up like 30-ish, like, already. Then you can put like 1 or 2 extra attachments on it. It feels like they didn't quite math this stuff out properly. Or they mathed it out and they want to make, and then they only want you using. You're giving them too much credit on this one, Matt. I'm telling you. I mean, I could be wrong. I ain't claiming they've balanced it entirely. I'm just saying you can balance it in a way where 100 points, even though some of it is already allocated, will still work as long as you've lessened or lowered or raised the cost of these attachments. So it still can work. It's just, have they done a good job? And you would argue they haven't done a good job, which is completely fair. I think a lot of it works on some of the more basic and popular guns, and then when you start getting in, there's clearly some weapons that have just like not been adjusted at all or tweaked. The Tavor assault rifle is like laughably bad. You're just like, there's no way anybody thought that this was an acceptable gun if you had used it at all ever. So I think there's just some things that have gotten overlooked. I think the point allocation on attachments has got to be looked over a little bit more. Because it would be really nice to use a 200 round belt fed mag and also be able to put more than one or two other attachments on my gun. But if you use it, you're just like, okay, I guess it's just this and like maybe a laser or something. Like there's not much else you can do. But that said, it's still fun. I'm still having a lot of fun crafting my weapons and figuring stuff out. And a lot of the base guns still seem like they're some of the best in the game. Like everybody's using the M4. They're all just like M4, it's the best. You know?
And I think that was probably smart to have a lot of the base weapons that you unlock at the beginning. Like they just come unlocked are strong. They've had that theme for a while. Like you go back and play Battlefield 3, a lot of the the M16 is literally the very first weapon that you have, and it's very, very good. And I think that's smart because then you don't feel like you're not competitive if you are brand new to the game, right? You come in a couple months later and you're like, well, I got nothing. Everyone's, decked out in all this gear. It's like, no, you can still do quite well. But I think that's good, good balance.
I am getting tired of getting killed by the M4 though.
It is prevalent. Yes.
It's like 20% of my deaths are people with a suppressed M4 and fully really kitted out. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say though that while we are starting to see some meta get established, like you said, I haven't even really touched any of the assault rifles. I haven't even touched some of these weapons because this just takes so long to grind. Yeah. Now, thankfully, that'll hopefully be a little quicker now because of the recent changes. But I think it's going to probably be a couple more weeks before things really start to get established, and then they can go on and be like, okay, this is where the player base is gravitating towards. Maybe we need to adjust and move things here and there. What weapons are not performing up to snuff and dial that in. So,
and that's, I mean, that's also quite telling because you've got, almost 60 hours on record in Battlefield, and you're like, I haven't even unlocked like a huge percentage of the guns yet. Right. And they're probably going to be adding more soon also. So, there's a lot of progression in the game in terms of the amount of time it takes to unlock stuff. I don't mind it too much. But it's taking longer to figure out this game's meta compared to, I feel, past Battlefield games where within like a week, you're like, all right, I see how things are going. Like, this is it for sure.
Which is nice. It's nice to have a wide variety of weapons that feel comparable.
Yeah. Well, and maybe that is what's going to happen is I'm enjoying bouncing around between all the weapons still. Like I enjoy machine guns. I enjoy carbines. I do have some assault rifles that I'm enjoying, like the Scar, for example. Snipers, fine. It's a sniper rifle, DMR is probably one of the weapon classes that I don't like that much.
That SVK though, man, 2-tapping people at all ranges. Pretty fun on larger maps.
I haven't tried that one yet. I don't think I've gotten it unlocked yet, actually. That's probably it.
Yeah, you just tap, and just people.
So it's 2 shots?
2 shots, that's it. Body shot anywhere, then they die. It's very good.
I was using the, what is it, the M14 or something, the starting one. And it's 3 shots to kill people, and it just takes too long. You're like, bang, bang.
That's fair.
Yeah, and you're like, anybody who's standing out in the open for that long, like, deserves to die at that point. But so many of your shots, you're like, all right, I got 2 hits on this guy, and he got behind cover. Oh, I got 2 hits on that guy, and he got behind cover. It just, So the starting out DMR is not loving. I'll take your advice and try out the SVK next.
It's pretty good.
I like machine guns. They're interesting because at medium to longer range, you really kind of want to start bipoding them or just really go nuts with the attachments and like try and mitigate the recoil as much as possible. But during the beta, and I want to try and get back here because in the beta, you were able to play around a lot with the attachments and stuff. Throwing a 200 belt on some of those machine guns and setting them up for just like hip fire running gun on some of the CQB maps was just brutal. Like you could turn a corner and drop 4 or 5 guys and you're just like, okay, I see what's going on now. So I'm excited to get back there. It's just, man, those mag unlocks are so far away. And I can't bring myself to do any of those
Yo.
XP farming servers, man. It's just too
Yeah, I can't
gross.
either. That's miserable.
Yeah, it's just not fun. I used to do it a little bit in 2042 because it was just a quick way to get unlocks and attachments, but I didn't have to do it for hours. In this, if we had to do XP farming, you'd be killing bots for hours. It's like, no, I can't. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I do kind of
that will literally suck all the fun out of the game. You will see it as a job at that point, and it's, I mean, technically kind of is, in some ways for you, but still, it's not why you're doing this.
I do wish that they would look at the average kill rate in, like, say, a CQB mode versus a Conquest match, and maybe award more weapon progression for kills in Conquest versus, like, TDM, because
you're not getting as many. I see. Or just give you more, or give you XP for when you take objectives.
Well, but so weapon XP, because you've got those two different
when you take objectives.
That's an interesting idea, actually. I don't mind that. Yeah, because really right now the best way to get attachments for a gun is to just grind TDM, and it's not the worst, but I don't like it as much. Yeah,
it doesn't need to be like, a full amount. Like you got 8 kills when you take an objective or anything, but reward some of XP for when you take an objective. I don't see why that would be a problem.
Nope.
Maybe people could farm it somehow, but like they're playing the objective. Like that's what you want, right?
Yeah,
you want
that's a solid. That's a solid idea, because right now what I'm doing is I'm playing TDM and King of the Hill and Domination, whatever they are, game modes that I don't really like. I'll play them. They're fine, but they're not why I play Battlefield. I play Battlefield for Conquest and the other big game modes. But I have to play the small ones if I want to make any sort of reasonable weapon unlock progression in terms of the attachments for stuff. So it would be great if they came up with a way to do that. Maybe like they're looking at it like, well, now we've got people playing all the modes, and it's like, yeah, but they're just playing them for the unlocks and the progression as opposed to the joy of the game. But yeah,
could be. Yeah, not everyone is you, and they will play what they want no matter, but I hear what you're saying.
It's true. Yeah, it's just the progression so slow that it doesn't seem to happen as naturally as I would like it to by playing the big modes.
It is too slow. When you have, they're having a problem right now with there's too many bot servers because people are wanting to farm XP.
Yeah.
And you can't even like create your own server apparently because they've maxed out. That is not because everyone wants to make farming servers. It's because people want to get the progression done faster, and they want to feel like they're actually getting somewhere with it. So it's not the portal's problem, it is the progression problem.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's funny that DICE has had this problem for so long, and it's been one of those problems that everybody who's a gamer sees coming a mile away, and then the devs are like, huh? Whoa. People are going to farm? They're going to farm this game in these weird servers. It happened. I remember it happened with Battlefield Hardline. We're like, hey, guy, we can just farm XP doing this stuff on these custom servers. Like, and the devs are like, oh, no, not going to happen. And then like day one, people were like almost max rank or whatever, just farming these stupid XP farm servers. And it's like, you guys are breaking all the kind of the stats and the progression in the game. It used to be something that I took a little bit of pride in, my stats in Battlefield, back when it was pretty hard to cheese through them. You could, if you're really dedicated, you could just only play with a squad that would revive you all the time and whatever, and manipulate your KDR a bit. But it used to mean a little bit more. And I don't know, over the past, I'd say even 10-ish years, DICE has really slacked on making the stats mean anything because of how easy it is to cheese through all of it.
I do find it strange that your KD stats on your profile are affected by bots.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd.
Yeah, that is super weird because leading up to the launch, we got early access to the game to play it a bit and get some footage to make reviews and stuff.
Is your KD like 1,000 because it's
It was initially, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
finally balancing out, but I also didn't realize that it was going to track bot kills in my KD as well. So all the
Yeah.
games that we were playing before the game came out were, 90% filled with bots because they just couldn't fill up the servers with content creators or whatever.
Likely story. You're just padding your stats. And
I
you
was
want
just
to cover
padding my
story
stats
for why your KD so
Yeah.
high.
I listened to their memo and did not push my rank past 25 or whatever they said. They're like, don't go crazy with the stats and the leveling up or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just played it to that point. Other people, however, were like they're like rank 50
very
plus
high level players.
on launch day. And I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. But they're basically just using the bot XP farming server technique before the game came out. It is weird though that the bots track on the score. I've always been weirded out by some of the Battlefield stat tracking stuff, and this game again is, unfortunately, the stats don't really matter much in it because of how exploitable it is, that they track bots, that they do all this other stuff, and you're like, okay, it almost doesn't matter. It's like when somebody had like a 13 KDR and then you look at their stats in BF3, BF4, and you're like, oh, okay, they've got 1,000 hours in the tank or something like that. You're like, of course, like they're just sniping people with a tank on Golmud Railway all game, like
all day.
Good for them. But I do kind of miss that. I do kind of miss the stats meaning more. And I think DICE just gave up on it a while ago. They're just like, oh, you have them, but who knows? You could have a KDR that's 3, and that could be good if you're if you're playing the objective in an infantry player, or you could have one that's 20, and you could actually not be a great player. You could just be a cheesy person who just. It can
also just be indicative if you play with friends, because if you have buddies and they're reviving you constantly, your KD skyrockets.
Yeah.
Skyrockets. It makes you feel so good at the end of the round. We're like, man, I was 50 and 5. It's like, no, you got downed about 20 times, but you got your buddies reviving you, which is great. I love that. I genuinely think that's great because it keeps you going and you're still in the fight, right? But yeah, it's not quite the same. Yeah,
you have a firefight where you kill 5 guys, but you die 3 times in the middle of it, and your buddies just revive you, and you're like, yeah, we got them all. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, you got blown up quite a few times.
And I think it's okay because it's teamwork, and technically you did not go down, and you're back in the fight, right? Like, I think it's totally fine. But yes, that can vastly influence your KD for sure.
It would be really interesting. Yeah, I don't know how they would. They'd have to invent their own KD stat where it's like kills, deaths, and then like revived death. I don't know, some additional.
There's downs. You could just be downs. How many times did you get downed?
Oh yeah. That's right. You could be like kill, death,
Hell,
and then
Lose
downs.
Squad does that where it's how many people you down and how many people you actually kill, and usually it's not the same. Usually your kills are much lower.
Yeah. Well, so they could do it on your own death stat too, where like if you, I don't know, it could track your downs. Anyway, it doesn't matter that much
needed at all. I don't think it's needed.
Battlefield's not that competitive, but there was a point in time in which the stats meant a little bit more, but I think it's just gotten a little loony. They've given up on trying to stop the stat padding and the XP farming and all that stuff. And they're just like, like they're only trying to stop the XP farming, I think, right now because of the server problem of them not being able to find any sort of creative portal servers out there.
Right.
Yeah. Of which I am excited to try out some of the ones. There's this guy that's Matavar, who's, I believe he's one of the devs on the Beautiful Light game.
I've seen his stuff.
Yeah, he's working on a Noshahr Canals remake that looks really solid, which is funny. I do want like legitimate DICE remakes of some of these classic maps. That would be great. But until then, we've got community made remakes. I'm just waiting until somebody does Facing Worlds from Unreal Tournament with low gravity and Instagib,
Yes. Why has that not in the game yet?
I think you have all the tools to do it. It'd be kind of funny. Do you ever notice that Unreal Tournament? You ever play Unreal Tournament, the original one?
A little bit, but only like very, very little bit.
Okay. I'm dating, what, 99, 98? I can't remember when it came out.
I was very much a child with no, income.
Sure. That game was funny because you've got all these futuristic, ridiculous weapons. You've got like a laser beam rifle that shoots mini black holes that detonate in supernovas. You've got a goo launcher. You've got a rocket launcher that can shoot a spread of rockets. You know, if somebody dodges your rocket, you're like, oh, here's a spread of 3 rockets. Take that. And then the sniper rifle in it is basically just an M4. It's just very funny. I always found that funny where you're just like, here's this vast array of alien sci-fi weapons and an M4.
And an M4.
I'm like, did you guys run out of budget? You just like grab an M4 asset that you had lying around. You're like, I don't know.
Probably.
That's the sniper. It's an M4.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I always liked that. I thought it was very funny. So BF6, fastest selling game in Battlefield history, Matt. What do you think about that?
I'm not surprised. I mean, it's kind of the perfect storm.
Yeah.
People have been waiting for a new Battlefield. They had a great beta. The hype was real. They've delivered the game has come out, and for the most part, it's very good.
Yeah.
I know there's complaints on the internet. You go to certain sections of the internet, they think it's the worst thing ever. But at the same time, it's got still 300,000 people playing right now, and on Steam alone, they've done it. They've done a good job. They've made a fun Battlefield.
And we've got more content coming very soon, plus Firestorm or whatever. Is it even going to be called Firestorm? Whatever their fire mode, Battle Royale mode is still coming down the line as well.
Yeah. We haven't heard anything about when that releases, though, have we?
I don't think so, no.
There was the rumors, but the fact that they haven't announced it yet in their Season 1 makes me a little suspect of when it's going to launch.
I'm fine with them taking their time because from the leaks, I was reading through all the leak stuff and people were saying that they were not overly impressed with it, but also the leaked footage, it looks so early where there wasn't even stuff in the loot lockers. So you're like, okay.
Like gray box stuff. I was like, there's no way this is coming out in a couple of weeks, right? There's no way.
Yeah. Now, you said something interesting, though, about it being sort of the perfect storm, where I think it's also with kind of Call of Duty being a pretty underwhelming title this year. Like even COD fans were just like, okay, not really excited.
It's fine.
It's the second Black Ops game in a row. There's nothing about it that looks particularly exciting. It's just COD for anybody who needs to buy another COD. And if you bought last year's COD, and you're like, another Black Ops? Okay. I feel like on that front alone, they might have lost quite a bit of sales, right? Yeah. But so this is coming out. COD's sort of poo-pooing, and Battlefield's like, here we go. Here's the next big game, and it's exciting.
And I think it's also because it's gone for more of a grounded aesthetic, and there's been so many games that are just goofy crossovers and all that. And maybe I'm looking too much into this, but I do think that them going for less of the ridiculous nonsense, it's like people are like, there's been a desire for that. There's a hunger for it.
And I was joking with Drewski about this, but I was saying I would say objectively, if you're looking at all the little things, that BF1 was a superior game at launch. But BF6 is more successful because it's modern military. And I was joking. I was like, I blame your people because Drewski's the milsim guy. And it's like you put an M4 and some weapon attachments, Picatinny rail stuff in there, and you've just increased your sales figure by 40%, It's pretty hard to argue with this theme. This theme just sells better than more fantastical stuff. And BF1 was very fantastical in the sense that, one, it was pretty hard for anybody to relate to a World War I game, and two, they went very over the top with it, with zeppelins or blimps crashing.
They still kept it relatively grounded, though. The aesthetic itself was not over the top. Other than the zeppelins. Other than that,
the zeppelins, the armored trains, the
behemoths. I'm talking about the behemoths when I say zeppelins. You are right. Yes.
The cavalry. These things exist. They basically took everything that existed peripherally to the war and threw it into the combat to make it more fun.
Right. The point I was trying to make is I agree, is that the aesthetic of it felt grounded. Not that it was actually realistic, because it's not, in the same way that Battlefield 6 is not realistic. That's why I hate when people say it. They made it feel like you were in an authentic experience, though.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fair.
The immersion was there, because it was very immersive, and it was really cool to see that Zeppelin crash into the ground and huge explosion, and then the carcass is there. Like, it's very immersive.
Yeah.
Even though it is completely outlandish.
Yeah. That never happened once during World War One. I think there was like a Zeppelin air raid, but like we're not talking about the kind of stuff we saw in BF1. There was like, I think, a cavalry charge at one point early in the war when they realized that cavalry was no longer an effective weapon on the battlefield. Yeah. They're like, oh, times have changed. So like, yeah, guys running around with spears and spearing people on the battlefield. Probably never happened, but it's cool, man. I miss the cavalry class. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, is there a way to get cavalry into BF6? Probably not. Probably not, yeah. But man, would it be cool. I could see an avenue for dirt bikes. I mean, we spent quite a bit of time on the dirt bikes in BF3 and BF4.
That's true. Yeah, I did forget about that. Yeah.
Those were fun, man. They had great physics. You could just do sick jumps off of stuff while firing RPGs and dropping C4 on things.
Yep.
What do you think about not having enough C4 to kill a tank now?
I haven't even really used this. I haven't even locked C4, I think, on... Well, no, maybe I have.
Yeah.
I haven't touched it.
It's a pretty... I like
That's
C4.
Pretty underwhelming, though. I think it should 100% take out a tank if you have enough. Like, that's literally its job. It's to take out vehicles if you get close enough, right?
Do you know you can sledgehammer a tank to death?
You can what?
Yeah, sledgehammer does 5% damage to a tank. So you can charge a tank and just like sledgehammer it down.
Now, what you really need to get is like 10 of your friends to just charge at a tank at once and just whack it. Just whack it to death.
Well, there's a great clip on Reddit of that happening. Some guys are just like, charging a tank with their sledgehammers out. And the tank's just like, what's happening? Oh, God.
That's so good. I love that.
Yeah, so if you don't kill a tank with your C4, make sure you got that sledgehammer equipped so you can finish it off.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, I mean, there's no way that even looks remotely real. You're just like a guy sledgehammering, inch thick steel plating. You're like, yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Keep it up.
When you got enough of them, anything's possible.
You're gonna annoy the guys inside to death. Just like bong
with banging.
Yeah. Somebody sledgehammering the tank from the outside. The sales figure is great, like for the franchise, obviously, but hopefully because it's happened so quickly. And the financial guys can look at the money and they go, oh, we're doing well, support the game, inject more money. Hopefully that means we're getting some full-fledged content coming in the future for BF6.
Yes, God, I hope so.
Because this has been the plight of the Battlefield games for the past several launches is BF5 has a really poor reception. And then they're like, fix it mode.
What do we do? Yeah.
And then the people at the top are like, well, we're hemorrhaging, so don't put any more money into the game. So let's just give them the bare minimum content and then finish it. And like there was even those maps that made it into 2042 that one of the devs was like, these were designed for BF5, and they just pulled them because they're like, we're not going to make
really?
any.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the World War II maps in Battlefield 2042 were going to be in Battlefield 5.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, isn't it cool that you got all these World War II maps in Portal mode for Battlefield 2042? And you're like, those were for BF5, bro. They were for BF5.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that at least according to a dev who no longer works at the studio. But anyway, so long story short, we got a lot of content cut and pulled and got underwhelming post-launch support for the games because of the bad releases. With BF6 having such a strong release, such good sales figures, such good reception, hopefully that means on the back end, they're like, all right, let's add a couple more DLCs. Let's add a couple more seasons. Let's give the fans some free maps. Let's pump more money into whatever this Firestorm mode's going to be, you know?
Yep.
So that's really good. Really exciting. It means we're going to be eating well for a while.
I hope so.
Yeah. Speaking of eating well, we've been Arc Raiders, man. They had
baby. I was wondering we were gonna talk about Arc Raiders. Okay.
I love that game. I'm just gonna say it. I think it's fantastic on every front. It's
very good.
Embark is the most exciting studio out right now. Like everything they do, you're just like, these guys are just cooking. They're just cooking.
The recent playtest was very restrictive. It didn't have a lot of content. But even then, I played it 2 nights of streaming, and like by the end, I'm like, I want more. I can't wait to see where they go with it. They even added in some new content. There technically was. I picked up a couple of new epic weapons that some enemies had, and I had a Bobcat SMG. There was my friend had an assault rifle that was purple. Yeah, so there was even some new content.
Sick. Have you seen I didn't experience these personally. I did see the Queen a few times, and it's cool to see the Queen's amazing, and there's like this big old harvester thing that she's guarding, and it looks epic. But did you see some of the Leaper clips that people were posting?
No.
Holy,
I mean, I've seen Leaper clips, but
okay,
that was a while ago.
So for anyone who hasn't played Arc Raiders, the Leaper, or previously known as the Bison, is this 4-legged gigantic spider robot that can leap through the air at you, which is terrifying. It is truly terrifying, but it doesn't just like leap a small distance. It can leap like hundreds of meters. So guys will like see it off in the distance. And they'll be like, hey, you guys see that robot down there? And all of a sudden it just jumps in the air, and you're like, you're trying to figure out where it's going. You're like, where's that thing going? It's going for me. And then it just lands on your face and destroys you. So that in itself is cool. But there's this clip that these guys posted online where they're going up one of those kind of dam tunnels, those big cylindrical tunnels that are like around the map. And they're these cool, creepy tunnels. And this giant leaper like drops down one of the openings. Like it's 100-foot drop, drops down in there and starts chasing these guys through this long tunnel. And it looks like a scene from a movie. Like it looks like a scene from a horror film, and it kills their whole squad like systematically. And the guy who gets downed, then the leaper like turns and like starts running after another guy. And you see the guy like sprinting off through this swamp, and it like flies through the air and lands on him. And you're just like, dang, like, the AI can ruin you in this game if you are not prepared.
That was one thing I noticed, and other people have been talking about. It feels like they toned up the lethality of the AI. Not only do they spot you faster in this playtest compared to the one a couple of months ago, but it's just like nonstop. And some people are like, this is too overtuned, and I can kind of see where they're coming from. I do also think that's because it's very scrappy. This playtest was very scrappy. You didn't have a lot of gear at the beginning. Everyone's brand new, and a lot of PvP, so people are dying a lot. So I think that was contributing to it. People just didn't have the greatest loot to fight against them. But also, like, they're cracked. What I liked, though, is it really makes it feel dystopian.
Yeah.
Like, you feel like you are actually, you're in a world where these aren't just little, like, annoyances, because they kind of are. Mm-hmm. But you start to get an understanding of why humanity has gone underground and is trying to, like, just survive, right? And I love that thematics. I absolutely, and the fact that you feel that, like, I cannot fight the Rocketeer and the other thing charging at me. I have to run because it's scary, and I actually really like that about it.
It's a great fix to all the things that I hate about, like, zombie games, where the zombie immediately, as soon as you figure out how to fight the zombies, you're like, oh, these aren't really a big threat anymore. I can kill 50 of them, no big deal. Right. And the big threat becomes the other players, and the PvE just becomes like a nuisance, really. Yeah. And Arc Raiders, I think, because it had that benefit of being originally designed as PvE only, where they're like, we're going to make this hard. And the PvE is hard, and it's just as much a threat as players sometimes, or even more so. If you if you aggro the wrong bot, like a leaper, like forget it. I'd rather fight a player any day of the week than a leaper.
Yep.
You know,
you have to respect the bots, and I do like that. They may have gone a little bit too hard in the difficulty, but like I said, once we get further in, maybe once we get better gear, it may balance out. But I like that that they're lethal and that you have to respect them, because it just adds to the game. I don't think it detracts from it so far.
Yeah. And people were speculating too that based on the missions and progression, it'll probably start spreading the more serious players out to like some different maps more so. Yep. And some of the maybe newbie maps will potentially get toned down AI or something, and maybe they're just putting all the AI in the newbie maps to make it harder to begin with.
Did you see any of the new robots?
There's a couple little new ball things that roll around.
Yeah, those were neat.
Yeah, beyond that, I don't know.
Bombardier?
No, is that the spider one?
So you know the bastion that basically turns into, it's like not really crab-like. It's got a ton of legs and it just turns into a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
So it's like that without a Gatling gun. What's really cool is that it shoots bombs at you. Bombardier. Yeah. I think it's called the Bombardier. But what I loved is I was playing in a night map with my friend, and we see the snitch drones, but they were smaller. And I was like, "What are those?" He's like, "Wait, are those seeker drones from the Bombardier?"
Oh.
And straight up, like they spot us, and then all of a sudden, just explosions start like raining down. I was like, "This is insane!" Right? So it spotted us. So once again, going back to the whole like, these robots are designed to kill you and find you, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just this robot out there. And it just added so much to the thematics of the game, where I really feel like I felt like a cinematic movie, like you were talking about, where they're down, where it's like they spot you, and you have this oh no moment, and you need to run for cover because that thing that you thought was just clunky out in the distance is actually looking for you with these little drones. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I had a similar moment.
At least I'm assuming that's how it worked, because it was only for about 10 seconds. And then,
I think you're right. I had a similar moment in the first beta or closed beta where maybe I was playing with you. I can't remember, but we're like observing a queen way off in the distance. And just like, wow, look at that thing.
And then we got mortared. Yeah.
And then, you're watching it and you're like, wow, it's firing stuff up in the air. Who's it fighting over there? And then you watch the mortars arc in and you're like, that thing's like, what, a kilometer and a half out, something crazy distance away. All of a sudden the mortars just start landing all around us. And we're going, oh God, it can see us from a click and a half away. Like, absolutely crazy. I've never seen AI that have been tuned like this in a game, and it is fun just how challenging they are. I'm so like impressed with this game. I want to play. It's hard, it's challenging. That's part of the fun. I really like it. I've seen people arguing like they should have a PvE only mode or something. Maybe that'll come at some point. I
wouldn't want them to focus on it. I want them to create the game they want to create.
Yeah.
And then later on, if they're like, hey, we got some allocation or some resources that we can allocate, fine. But definitely not at launch. Yeah.
I see the argument where people are saying if you solo queue, you should only be matched against other solo queues and stuff like that.
Their queuing system is really goddamn cool, though.
Yeah,
because it does try to fight you against other solos. If you're a duo, you mainly fight against duos, and it still has that Tarkov vibe where you're never sure if they have one more or one less, right? And so you're always on your toes with it. So I like that, but it feels way more fair than something like Tarkov. Where you're like, oh, I'm one dude, I killed one guy. There could be literally 4 other dudes around, in the wing, right? And you probably will not get that in this game. So I actually liked how they handled it.
Yeah, I was playing solo and I ambushed this dude up in the hills, and he was just like, "Where the heck did you come from?" And we're having a little conversation, and then he said this like in local, like I could hear him on his VoIP, and I couldn't tell if he was messing with me or not, but he's like, he's up in the hills, he's looting me right now. And then I killed him, and it was like looking around for his party to show up. I didn't go and loot him right away because I was like, oh, I'm about to get ambushed. Hit up with eyes on his body just to see, and I'm like waiting for somebody to show up. I'm like, was he just messing with me, or
was he messing with you?
Did he have another? Well, I didn't see the rest of his party show up, so I think he was just messing with me. But yeah, the fact that you don't know if you're solo, if you're up against other solos or not, is a cool element to it. Without question, frustrating to fight a full party as a solo.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This game is probably harder to kill a bigger party than just about any other game I've played, because TTK is long, and like your weapons just don't have enough ammo in them. It usually takes 2 reloads just to kill a guy, you know?
If you're solo and you go against 3, you're dead.
Yeah. Almost impossible unless they're basic kits and you have the best tier 3 kitted out stuff in the game.
Yeah.
Where you're just like maxed out shield, auto shotgun, whatever. Then
but
maybe.
That's the thing is, when you are solo and there's solo queue, you're all in the same. You are all queuing up to the same thing, but it tries to get you into similar experiences. I never went against a 3-man when I played solo. I was if I ever came across others, it was maximum 2, and so it felt like it was working pretty well in that regard.
That's pretty good. People were posting clips of running into trios as a solo.
I didn't play a ton of solo, so I could be,
Yeah. Also, those are the clips making it to the top, right? Like these could be extreme examples of that happening.
Right.
So yeah, I think I'm fine with their system the way it is now. What I think I would like though is, I don't know. I don't know if it needs this or if it would be. So like, you know, when you play Hunt Showdown, and if you solo queue, you get access to different perks as a solo player, and there's good ones. I think it would be cool if they had a progression tree for solo play, like your skill tree, and you could get special perks that were just for if you were queuing solo. I think that might be interesting. And then if you ran into a party of 2 or more,
you get a couple extra bonuses.
Yeah, you'd have a few extra bonuses. I think that'd be cool. It might not even need to be a full progression tree, but maybe just like a few additional perks that you can earn or something.
That's fair.
But yeah, I was just thinking that you could do a couple things like that to like help solo players a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is just fun lurking around in that world, because you do have to lurk. Like you have to, the game really makes you like run from bush to bush sometimes, where you're just like run, hang out in the bush, look around, survey your surroundings, listen. Okay, I heard something in the distance. Okay, run. You're like your little field mouse scampering around. And there's not a lot of games that do that. Even like Stalker, which is one of those games that I feel makes me afraid of the environment more so than most games. This game does it better. Like it makes me even more afraid of the environment.
I keep going back to it, but you really feel like you're in a movie where you are in a dystopian universe where you're literally got robots flying over and you have to scurry from one cover to the other because you don't want to aggro all of the robots, right? It's so good. Yeah.
I've seen, this is why I think that Arc Raiders is going to be a mega hit, because I don't like extraction shooters, at least the ones that have come out so far. I'm not a big fan of Tarkov. Hunt Showdown, I really love the aesthetics, but the gameplay, I just don't really like the progression in the gameplay of it as much. Any of the other ones that have kind of come around this peripherals, I'm just not vibing with for whatever reason. And I always thought it was like the actual game mode or the game style, the concept of an extraction shooter. But Arc Raiders, I love it. I can't wait to play more of it. And I've been seeing the exact same comments from other people as well, where they're just like, I don't play extraction shooters, but I love this game. Like, I love this game so much. And I was playing it with somebody else who was like, I've never played an extraction shooter. And they're like, this game's really cool. Like, they're just interested in it. And you're just like, man, it's got that secret sauce. Like, Embark has figured it out. And they're just like, yeah, we know you don't all like extraction shooters, but have you tried our extraction shooter? And then all of a sudden you're like, I think I like extraction shooters now.
Yeah.
The progression I am really excited to see more of, because that's what I was thirsting for in this play session, right? Because you max out all your tables and your everything really quickly. There's not a whole lot you can do in this one in terms of like progressing your skill tree that far, or or ranking up your workbenches and your missions and all that stuff. Like you start getting keys for maps that you don't have access to. I'm really excited to max out my progression trees and see where all that goes, because the skill tree is not extensive. It's not like Path of Exile crazy or anything like that. You've got like maybe 40 skills or something.
Yeah.
But they make a difference for sure. Like loot times, stamina, speed, you start adding it up. You can now move a little quicker, run around faster, you're quieter, all these things. And it's a really satisfying feeling getting the skill points and starting to stack them up and just feeling like you're a more adept survivor. Like
the meta progression was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And I hope that goes on for a long time, because obviously once this game launches, people are going to be sinking hundreds of hours into it. So I hope at hour 200, there's stuff to do, you know?
Yeah. I'm curious. That's the thing we don't know about, is what is the end game? How high a level can you get in terms of that meta progression? They've hinted at a map. There's going to be 5 maps, I think, at release. They've hinted at a 6th. Is that going to be story related? Is it going to be something that you see kind of piecemealed through Quest? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I hope that they can land on their feet, because while the early game and mid game seems to be really fun, if we've even experienced the mid game yet from the previous beta, these games thrive on their end game. And can you keep people engaged all throughout the entire experience and not just be like, all right, I beat the game, now what? Oh, I just never come back, or I only come back for wipes?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. No, it's a fair point. I think they can do a lot with maps as well, because the maps really, it's not just like, here's another area to play in. It's like they just have, each one has a very distinct vibe to it. And they're large maps. They have a lot of places to learn and figure out. And yeah, even that dam map, which is the only map we got for the whole last play session, there's still a lot of places. I haven't been everywhere in that map, I don't think. I think there's still a little areas here and there that I'm like, oh, I haven't really been in this building before, or to this tunnel network before, or whatever. So it's just impressive how much they can do with even a single map in that game.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I agree.
I'm excited, man. That's dropping on the 30th, right? I think.
Yes. So 28th, we have the Battlefield Season 1 update, and then the 30th, we have that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be going pretty hard on Arc Raiders when it drops, man. I'm just...
Yeah, same.
I also like matchmaking with their free kits. It's just fun where you go out with a free.
Yeah.
Sometimes you end up with like an incredible kit too, and you're just like,
incredible might be a little bit of an exaggeration.
True,
but
they can
get some good stuff out of it.
Yeah, they have a really good system for making sure that you can't get away with too much stuff when you go in with a free kit. You can't just gank some dude with the mega kit and then get all of their amazing stuff. There's some limits to it.
You have an augment, and you cannot swap augments, and augments are essentially your backpacks, sort of, where they dictate what kind of armor you can have on. They dictate how many slots you can have, your safety pocket slots, and the base kit is just like basic, right? You don't even get a safety slot, so
and you can't swap it mid-combat, which is very different from, like, say, a different type of game where you could just, anybody you kill, you get all their stuff. You can't quite do that in this.
Right. So if you do come across someone who is just chatted out and you somehow manage to kill them, some would argue like, oh, well, you deserve all of the loot, and fair, but you can't just gobble all of it up and just run out there, right? So it does incentivize you to take in your own loot so that you risk something, because that's kind of the whole point of the game, is the whole risk reward system, right?
I feel like it works really well where the free kit feels like a really good way to sort of get yourself back on your feet a little bit. Where maybe you had a couple games and you just went in with a bunch of good tier and just got murked and you're like not feeling it. So you're like, give me a free kit. And then you go in, you get a bunch of loot. Maybe you kill a guy, get a gun or something like that. You get out and you're like, okay, I'm building it back up. And then immediately you're like, okay, I want to take something better in for the next round. I don't want to go free again, you know? So it's a great incentive, and it gets you back up on your feet and willing to risk stuff really quickly. One thing that I didn't explore much and wanted to, just didn't have time in this play session, was the field crafting stuff. Do you know what you can make with field crafting?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
real basic stuff like meds,
Okay.
not even great meds, but just basic bandages.
Okay.
The shield battery things that allows you to get your shield back up. That's probably the best thing that I found. I think you can
Okay.
also get a couple explosives here and there, but nothing crazy.
It'd be cool if you had, what I like about that is, so there's like 3 branches of progression trees, all of which have pretty valuable skills in each side of them, where you're like, oh man, that's really good. That's also really good.
Felt like the middle top one was the one that everyone was going for though, because it gave you more stamina.
Yes. Yeah. All the skills are good in almost all situations, basically. And you're just kind of debating. But if you were, say, playing with the same party, the same 3-man group every evening, you could definitely have somebody be like, I'm going to go on the crafting route. And that way I can make us bandages and shields. And then somebody else could be like, well, I'm going to go on the looting route. So I'll be able to loot really quickly and open things faster and make less sound while I do it. And like that could also be really valuable in a party. So like I could see having like an interesting mixture. Even if you did all go the stamina route at the start and then branched out from there and then pick different paths or something. But
yeah, I'm really curious how much those perks are going to matter, because there is times when I was making my way up to the middle dam structure and we could hear people in the top looting. And we were all the way down 2 floors below. It was like, wow, that's actually wildly loud.
yeah.
And I'm assuming they didn't have the perk. So we were able to get up there. We snuck in, took them out, no problem, easy peasy, because we had the information. And so I wonder how much the perk that reduces that audio would we have been able to hear them? Like, would it have been just quieter? I don't know. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how it all works out.
It would be interesting too, is like, and this is sort of why I want almost like a solo skill tree, because if I'm playing solo, I'm going to be more inclined to want to put skills into silent stuff and silent looting and silent movement and all that kind of stuff. But I don't necessarily care about those when I'm playing with a party, because the whole party is going to be making noise and it doesn't matter if I'm quiet. So there's not a huge incentive to work on those skills unless I mostly play solo. But if I play a mixture of things, then I've got probably my skills are going into whatever's going to be best in a party situation. So it would be nice if they had a way to break that up, but it is what it is. Yeah. Anyway, excited for it, dude. Yeah. We're just eating well right now. Two of my favorite games this year have just dropped. Almost dropped, kind of dropped, had a play test dropped back to back, and I just can't get enough of them. Can't get enough. Fun. You managed to play some more games, Matt, in addition to Ark and Battlefield?
I got early access to Anno 117.
Nice.
The new Anno game.
Yeah.
Ubisoft contacted me, not sponsor or anything, but they're like, hey, we want to allow you to play a preview. And I played it, and man, it's fun. It's more Anno. I have not played a ton of Anno, so I played Anno 1800, and I played a decent amount, but I'm not like, I don't know the metas. I don't know, I there was things I struggled with and didn't understand, but I had fun with it. And so going into this, I had a little bit of experience, but it's so much fun trying to situate your island in a way that's going to get the benefits of putting certain things down, but also removing the negatives that some buildings have around your base, your cities. It's great. I've really enjoyed it so far. I've even played a bit of it off stream as well. Everything, I wouldn't say it seems more streamlined. I really struggled with I don't know if it was because I'm stupid, but I really struggled with trade routes in Anno 1800.
Everybody
I don't know why.
Hated it. I think everybody hated it because it just wasn't a good system. You set up your trade routes, and then a pirate kills one of your ships, and your whole economy collapses. And you're like, oh.
So that can still happen in this.
Okay.
But I felt like you can actually have a military vessel as the thing that is shipping things.
Okay.
So they can actually fight the thing, and you can have other ships. I think so you could actually have another ship guard your ship, and it will follow it the entire way and protect it. I also just felt like it was a lot more intuitive to set up the trade route and like getting the things I wanted to where I wanted to go. It wasn't like this big monumental thing.
Yeah.
Could have been because I was just an idiot. I don't know. But in this, I was just like, oh, I just put that there. Bada bing, bada boom. We're good to go. People say that, right? Bada bing, bada boom. I'm cool, guys. Anyways, so that was really nice. It's a gorgeous game. The buildings that they've created, you can just get these massive theaters, these huge structures that just make it feel very thematic. There's aqueducts that you can make that just add to it as well. So it's a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it so far. Don't really have any like large overt negative things that I've encountered, no, actually I have.
Okay.
There are things that I will encounter. So you have to manage the happiness, the health, the fire rating of your city. And there's times where I'm like, I can't add anything to my city to make it less flammable.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Isn't it built out of stone? How burny is stone? Stone's not that burny.
So your fire rating will just skyrocket, and then everyone's like, "Hey, you idiot! Your city's gonna burn down." I'm like, "There's nothing I can do." I think
build more aqueducts, bro. Get those aqueducts
and that's actually
going.
what you do. The aqueducts will reduce the fire chance in that area. And so you have to kind of like make a daisy chain of all these little aqueducts everywhere. You can make a giant bath that apparently, I don't know why baths would reduce the fire rating, but that also
wet people don't burn, Matt.
That's very true. Wet people don't burn. There is a giant, almost like Path of Exile skill thing where you have to like research stuff. It's not quite Path of Exile, but it's very large where it's like it goes down and you have to kind of map your route as to what you want to get. And so you're going to be researching things. And that's also one thing I really liked. You know how the water side got a little crowded in Anno 1800? I don't know if maybe this was just a me problem. You can actually extend out docks, and you can extend them out further when you get the research. So you can basically make like these mega docks that are just radiating out with tons of different things that you would do on an ocean, right? In terms of gathering resources.
Cool.
I'm really enjoying it. It's been fun.
I'm like excited and disappointed because if I get into that, like there goes, I mean, like you can just put 12 hours into that in a session, man. It is addicting. And Anno 1800, in my opinion, had some of the best like building adjacency bonuses I've ever had in a game where you're just really looking at your placement and really trying to like architect it perfectly. You spend all this time min-maxing your build designs for cities, and it is so satisfying when you get stuff working well. So that's what sucked me into the first one so much, where I was just like, oh, like the progression is so much fun. Building your city is so much fun. It's one of the better city builders I've played. So yeah, if you're saying this one's on that level, then
and this
I'm
one you
doomed.
can build diagonally.
Dear God.
I know.
They've done.
It makes your cities feel way more natural when you actually have, side streets and things that go at a different angle than just grids everywhere.
Yeah. That's awesome. Something that city builders have all tried to try and deal with in some way, some more successfully than others.
More than others. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know if traffic is simulated in this. I know in 1800 your better roads could improve the speed at which stuff would happen.
That happens here too.
Okay.
If you go from dirt to cobble, they travel faster, so they get the resources from where they want to go faster, and they also can travel further. So if you have your fire department and it wasn't able to reach where the fire is, if you make a cobblestone there, they can actually get there now. And so all of a sudden, the things that you thought you needed to have more of, you can actually just have less of them, but just make cobblestones, and they can radiate out further, which I liked.
What does your fire department look like in that era? Is it like a donkey and a bucket or something?
Yep, pretty much. Yeah. Oh, and there's a button you can press, a couple keys that allows you to go down, and you can walk around in your city.
What? Okay, come on, man.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Dang.
So I I've been enjoying it. I cannot. Like I said, I'm not an Anno veteran, so I don't know what kind of quality of life have they've added. I don't
Yeah.
know if like what the end game's going to be like. I don't know what. I can't speak on that. But all I can say is, as someone who enjoys city builders casually, it's been a very chill experience, a very fun vibe.
Yeah. That's super cool. I like to watch RTS sort of strategy stuff too. And it's fun to see how good people can get at these types of games where they're like, not only are they like really fast and skillful, but just their knowledge curve is like on this insane level.
Yeah.
That's what I like about RTS is it really is this weird hybrid of like, you need to be good at both. You can be good at just one of the things, but if you're good at both, then you become like God tier, where you're like, I can do everything quickly and super efficiently. And then you just wreck people. I've been enjoying watching really good RTS players make YouTube content on Beyond All Reason. And it's really fun to watch. And that game does a good job of what I like about it compared to like, say, StarCraft, where you're like, here's your kind of your set build strategy for most maps or whatever. Like these ones, they can have randomized settings when the match starts and it'll make you decide what type of power route you're going to go. So like, you very much have to adapt your strategy even early game where you're just like, I think I'm going to go this route. Oh, nope, they're going that way. Okay, I'm going to pivot really quickly, or I'm going to build this way, or like my teammates are doing something different. So I'm going to cater to their build style, or I'm going to produce energy for them while they work on military units or something. Super adaptable. I've never seen a game that adaptable where most RTS games, especially team-based games, everybody's kind of doing the same thing where you're all building up your own economy and you're all producing your own army units. And Beyond All Reason, you can literally just be an economy player. You can be like, look, I'm not on the front line of this map, I'm in the back, so I'm just going to build resources and have them automatically share with everybody. You have a little share bar, and whenever you build resources past that limit, it'll just say, send it off to my teammates. And so then you can just focus purely on economy build.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then they can just build factories and then micromanage their armies and stuff like that.
That's cool.
And so, yeah, not a lot of games do that, but like Beyond All Reason does it masterfully. And then,
that's cool.
And then sometimes the economy builders will be like the late game guys where they go, yeah, I've been building economy, but now I'm going to put all that economy into building nukes, and I'm going to fire 24 nukes at you at the same time. And if you haven't built enough anti-nuke defenses,
you're done.
Yeah. And it's epic too, because when the nukes launch and the anti-nukes launch, you're like trying to count them. You're like, did I have enough? Do I have enough?
And then have enough?
They explode in midair, and then you see like one missile still going afterwards, and you're just like, one made it through, and it just like hits the power structure of the other team and like nukes half of the base, and you're just it's so much fun, dude. I think you would like that.
I think I would love it. I really do think I would love it.
Should try it. It is coming to Steam at some point. I don't know when, but it's totally free to play. You just get an account. It's even got a ladder system too. It's crazy.
That's very cool.
Yeah. I've been there's a great show that I'm so excited that is back on Netflix. Season 3 of The Diplomat just came out. I don't know if you've been watching that.
I've heard good things about it. Haven't seen it though.
Did you ever watch West Wing?
I did.
So this is like a spiritual successor to West Wing. In fact,
okay, I like West Wing.
Got some of the cast of West Wing on it.
Okay, I might have to check out The Diplomat.
Yeah. They sort of come in
very fast, right? Like no one actually talks like this in real life, where it's just like snappy, like, you know, like holy hell, but it's fun to watch, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a fun watch.
Well, it's also like, you know, The West Wing was very much a show of its time, which meant they didn't have I feel like with modern production, they can get a lot further with their budgets in terms of what they can show and where they can go and what they can do. And The West Wing was like people walking down hallways for an entire episode. And they were great, fantastically written, but a little bit more limited. The Diplomat is like, let's get them out and doing stuff, and like, let's have different scenes and situations and all kinds of fun stuff. And so they're able to do a bit more with it. I really like it. It's fun. It's well written, and there's plenty of intrigue. And then they've got your little cameo, not even cameos, but major roles by key cast members of West Wing. Allison Cheney's in it, and she's great. And there's another cameo that just appeared in this episode that I'm like, come on, they can't bring him back, but they did.
They can't possibly.
So yeah, I highly recommend The Diplomat. It's fun. And yeah. So yeah, recommend The Diplomat. I made myself finish Andor season 2. We tried to finish it a couple times and just got distracted. I think part of my issue with it is that it's just such a downer. Like,
it is, yeah. I haven't seen. I haven't subscribed to Disney Plus in like 5 years. It feels like at this point. So I haven't seen it.
It's incredibly well made, and it just like every episode, you're like, here's the story about the oppressed people who are dying, and we already know that the main character is going to die because we've seen Rogue One many years ago.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. You're not watching this show unless you've seen Rogue One, basically. Yeah. So part of that is like, you're just watching it and everybody's really serious. There's no levity. There isn't a comic relief character in the show.
But like that's I don't mind that. You act like this is some sort of, I mean, it's fair to, find it exhausting, but some of my favorite shows like Breaking Bad, I mean, there's levity sometimes, but that
Breaking
show is
Bad totally has
serious.
levity in it though. It really does. Like, well,
come on, level cap.
Come on, Saul, Better Call Saul. Like he's funny.
That's Better Call Saul. That's a different show.
Yeah, but he was in Breaking Bad, and he's funny in Breaking Bad.
There were funny moments. You are right. It's not 100% serious 100% of the time, but it's still a very serious show.
True.
With horrible people the entire time. That's the only point I was trying to make. Is some of the best content out there is just, it's very brutal. It's serious.
It's true. I liked Andor too. It is really well made, and it is incredible. So basically now the chronology in which you have to watch all the Star Wars movies would then be Andor, then Rogue One, then the first Star Wars movie. And they all like lead into each other perfectly. It's very funny because Andor is so deep and so well designed and so thought out in terms of establishing this rebellion and their oppression and all the crazy things they had to do to get to where they are. And then Star Wars is like, don't get cocky, kid. And then they're like just flying around and having fun in space. And you're like, they elevated that movie so much where you're like, it's not even deserving of all this nuance. Like Star Wars is just guys in space shooting lasers and then a Death Star explodes. Spoiler alert. And
the Death Star explodes?
I'm sorry, Matt. I know you were halfway through with that.
God damn it, level cap.
I got some news about Darth Vader too. It's pretty crazy.
Oh no! What is he? Someone's father or something?
Anyway, Andor's really good. It just took me a while to get through it because you're just watching it. You're like 5 episodes in. You're like, am I gonna feel happy at any point? No, just sad and depressed the whole time.
Yeah. Is season 2 the last season for Andor?
Yeah, I assume so because they sort of leave it at a point that I think leads directly into the beginning of Rogue One.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. So unless they somehow squeeze a whole season into what happens between him taking off to go on his mission for Rogue One and then Rogue One, then maybe he
meets an adorable alien child and goes on many missions with them, and they discover what it means to be a father.
Yeah. Is that show still happening, or did they cancel that one?
I think there's a movie coming out.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm not excited for a Mandalorian
I'm
movie.
not excited.
I am excited for the X-Wing movie. I'm not going to poo-poo all over Star Wars. I like Andor. I think it's the best thing that they've done since Disney bought the IP, and an X-Wing movie would be dope. You reading or watching anything?
Just more dungeon crawler, Carl. Just a lot of gaming though. A lot of gaming, level cap.
Yeah, a lot of gaming to be had these days, man. I got to get back to it, man. I got to go game.
You do.
Yeah.
The hell are we doing this podcast for? We should be gaming right now.
All right. I think that's a good spot to wrap it up. Plus, I gotta talk to you about F1 in the post podcast.
I can't wait.
We got plenty of F1 stuff to talk about. Thank you guys all so much for dropping in and hanging out with us for the Level With Me podcast. Again, we're on every day on Wednesdays, although I might push this one around depending on some NDA content release schedule stuff. We'll see. I swear. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry. We'll
Consistency is important.
Okay. We'll probably push this on Wednesday regardless. But if you guys want to,
by the way,
I know. No, behind the scenes, Matt is very rigorous to work with. Like if it doesn't come out on Wednesday, he's like emailing, texting, calling. It's insane.
Level where's the video? Where's the video? I thought you said it was going to post on Wednesday. Where's the video?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nightmare. So I just make sure that I always post it on Wednesdays. But if you guys want to check out our podcast behind the scenes a little bit more, support us further, check out our Patreon. It's linked in the video description, and you can come watch us record this live on Mondays, and then hang out for a post-podcast chat where we just talk about anything and everything that interests us, and we talk about it with you guys, the supporters. So, as always, thank you guys for watching, and Matt is going to leave you with some extremely useful advice.
Okay, so you guys know about safe words, right? Safe words are important in all facets of life. Now, some of you might think this is just for the bedroom, and that's great, but it can also be used in Arc Raiders. If you come across a random person and you team up via voice chat because you're like, hey, I don't want to kill you, you don't want to kill me, let's go out and go on an adventure. Have a safe word, like banana bread or something, right? That way, if you guys separate and you are seeing someone on the distance, you can be like banana bread and they'll be like banana bread, and then you can link up again and you're not going to kill each other. It's very helpful.
That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, because there is no UI marker in the game.
There's no indication that they're friendly because they're not actually friendly, but they are your friend.
That might be an incentive to wear kind of outlandish clothing where you're like, I'm the dude with the chicken hat, like you'll always remember me because I got the chicken hat on.
Hat guy.
Yeah. It's my strategy is to just get the stuff that blends in with the environment usually. And then other people are like, I'm going to wear this pink helmet. And you're like, good for you. I'm going to snipe you in that bush now.
Yeah.
But it's a good argument to use more outlandish clothing, I do like teaming up in the game. And there's a cool clip that somebody posted on Reddit that it's just like random players helping each other out, and it just gives you a good feeling where like this dude's trying to make it to an extract, and one of the big hover bots, the Rocketeer, is just blows him up, and he's crawling.
Pummeling him.
And another guy inside the elevator is like throwing down smokes for him. He's like, "Come on, buddy, you can make it!" And he like crawls in last second, and they go down. And you're like, "Oh, that's a happy story, man. I like it.
That's great. I like that a lot."
Yeah. Anyway, our creators, man, it's going to be soon. As always, guys, thank you for watching the podcast, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.